Socialism has been proven effective in countries such as Spain and Norway whenever they have less tax cuts on billionaires.
So if you look at Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the lower class actually received the largest tax cuts. People making $15,000 to $50,000 a year received an average tax cut of 16 to 26%. People making $50,000 to $100,000 a year received an average tax break of 17%. People making $1 million a year received an average tax break of 4%. So Trump is cutting the most in the highest proportion of taxes for the people making the least amount of money. So what you're saying is a talking point that's repeatedly regurgitated by people on the left, but it's just not true.
I just wanted to say that this is going to be just debate, no arguments, no nothing. I'm not into anything personal. I just wanted to say, what makes socialism evil?
Socialism necessitates slavery because it collectivizes the means of production, which is land, labor, and capital. If you collectivize labor, that means you can't have privately owned labor. So I can't own my own labor, you can't own your own labor. By definition, that's slavery if we can't own our own labor. So socialism establishes universal slavery, thus it's evil because slavery is evil.
Socialism has been proven effective in countries such as Spain and Norway whenever they have less tax cuts on billionaires.
Countries such as what?
Norway and Spain. They've been proven to have...
Norway and Spain are not socialist. Norway has privately owned means of production.
They have socialist programs that are in it.
So we have welfare programs as well. That doesn't make us socialist either.
Yes, I understand that, but MAGA is also decreasing tax cuts on billionaires.
That's not true. So if you look at Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, the lower class actually received the largest tax cuts. People making $15,000 to $50,000 a year received an average tax cut of 16 to 26%. People making $50,000 to $100,000 a year received an average tax break of 17%. People making $1 million a year received an average tax break of 4%. So Trump is cutting the most in the highest proportion of taxes for the people making the least amount of money. So what you're saying is talking point that's repeatedly regurgitated by people on the left, but it's just not true. It's fundamentally false. People making the least amount of money are receiving a higher tax break, not just a little bit higher, but by at least 5 times over, right? So it's not true. And also, you mentioned Norway. Norway is one of the most capitalist countries in the entire world. It rates the highest on the Economic Freedom Index, not the highest, but one of the highest countries on the Economic Freedom Index, which just measures how capitalist a country is. Norway actually rates higher than us in capitalism. So they're actually more capitalist.
Okay. I'd also like to point out with education.
I can't hear it.
I'd also like to point out with education, socialist countries who utilize education.
It's not true. Socialist countries and former socialist countries are the lowest on the Human Development Index, which is the UN standard for how well off a country is doing. It takes into account things like standard of living, how much money people are making, education, etc.
I just wanted to ask, can you name me a country as well? Because Germany also does follow socialist programs.
Vietnam is sub 100 on the Human Development Index. China is extremely low on the Human Development Index. Laos is one of the lowest countries in the Human Development Index.
Cuba.
Just because there is good and bad doesn't mean that it necessarily makes it all bad itself.
I can hardly hear you, but name me a country that is socialist or former socialist that is above 50 on the Human Development Index.
Germany.
All the capitalist countries are above 50. Germany's not a socialist country.
It follows socialist
Germany
programs.
used to be a socialist country twice. It was socialist under Nazi Germany, and it was socialist under the German Democratic Republic, under the Soviet Union. And guess what? It didn't work out very well either time.
It did work out. They had no homelessness after 3 years.
Wait. When?
In Nazi Germany. I don't...
Wait, so you're saying... hold up. You're saying
No.
Nazi Germany had good economic policies.
They did. They lost
Nazi Germany had good economic... Okay, so I mean, socialists are up here
So,
defending Nazi Germany.
You can't
That's
say-
not surprising.
You're
I
giving
mean,
me a straw man
no.
argument.
So-
You're going with a word that I just said.
how did they get rid of homelessness? They did it by stealing Jewish homes and putting Nazis inside the Jewish homes. That's your successful socialist policies?
They're not stealing Jewish homes.
Yes, they were. They weren't stealing Jewish homes?
Look,
what are you talking about?
You can also talk about what's going on in Palestine and Israel to talk about...
You're the one defending Nazi Germany.
I'm saying their policies. I never once said that I defend that what they did.
You're
It's a
denying
hoax.
they stole stuff from Jewish people.
It's not denying.
Yes, you just said they didn't steal Jewish
It's
homes.
not denying, though.
Yes, it is denying
No, it's not.
Okay, so if I said they stole Jewish homes, and this is what the historical record shows, and you said that didn't happen, that's called denial.
There's also other programs that don't just mean you're stealing Jewish homes, though.
What?
There's also other instances of them not stealing Jewish homes. I'm not saying by adding policies.
By the way, they didn't even abolish homelessness. That's just not even true. I don't know where you would get that claim. And their economy was a miserable failure. They created a vast bubble. And the reason they got rid of unemployment was because they put people in the military, which that's not sustainable as an economic policy. And then they went overseas and they stole a bunch of riches from other countries, from in Poland, and they sent that back to Germany, and they redistributed that to people. That was socialism, but how many people died as a result of that? How many people had their land stolen? How many people had their gold stolen
That's
to fund that?
Of war, not a result of policies.
What?
That's a result of wars and not a result of policies.
Well, that's how they were actually funding their welfare state. That's how they were funding their socialism, by going overseas and stealing stuff. They had to, because they didn't have the wealth within their country to fund it.
Okay. Hey.
All right, yeah, thanks for coming up.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Like I said, this is no debates or arguments. I just wanted to get both sides. Okay.